In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the latest mysterious and more questionable clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
I bet you £1 million by the end of this video you'll want nothing more than to unalive this man. By far the most disturbing film in the world, but no one's seen it and you don't even want to know what it was about. So this guy right here is the worst criminal I've probably ever heard about, Peter Scully, an Australian man who was arrested in 2015. Now, what this vile man did with a group of people was start a traffic ring of doing some pretty horrendous things. It just kept getting worse and worse. I can't mention the things, but with his accomplices, it got to the next level. Peter and two of his accomplices decided to create this movie to monetize, and well, what happened in it? It is believed that he took 3 people, a 18-month-old baby and 2 toddlers, and subjected them to the R word along with every single thing you can possibly imagine. It is believed that Peter was then selling this tape of Daisy, who was the baby, on the dark on a site where people were paying upwards of $10,000 or $20,000 per view on this video. And there is documentation that people did genuinely pay for it. Like, what? Now, the tape is a little bit of an urban legend where some people say it doesn't exist or people don't believe it. But there is a lot of chats and logs out there of people saying no, they did genuinely have it, or they managed to view it because they paid for it. And a lot of the stories online of what people say happened in it do add up and like exactly match what the other person said, which leads me to believe that maybe it did exist. But if this genuinely did and people were paying to watch this, it contained the most horrendous things you can imagine. I can't talk much about it, but R word, throwing, cooking, like, the list goes on. And this man had just taken those people and would do it to multiple other people as well. Like, there is endless of these stories. And there was just old men and people online who were paying him tens of thousands to view this video of the most horrendous thing you can ever imagine. Just absolutely blows my mind. And this guy is just still alive, tossing around in a jail.
There is some really disgusting people out there. Now, I didn't look into this to see how true any of this was, but I am so certain that there is on the dark web places where people are paying hundreds to thousands of dollars for some nasty, disgusting stuff. You know, I watch some of these videos to see if I can't catch some cryptids, Bigfoot, other really scary monsters that could possibly exist, but it always comes back to people being some of the scariest monsters out there.
This video is going up now, apparently of a UFO spherical craft seen on top of a mountain peak in Mexico, right? As you can see here, giant silver type object floating between the clouds, and everyone is absolutely freaking out about it. Now, I had to question this a little bit and I had to do a little bit of research here because we've got 2 twin peaks, and let me just go onto Google Maps for you. Now, digging around online and finding the site-specific location, which is Pico de Orizaba. Sorry, Mexicans, if I pronounced that wrong, right? If we zoom into this secondary mountain peak here, right, or volcano, shall we say, there's a observatory seen up on the very peak of this area, right? So, on the video itself, if you look, you can see 2 twin peaks. You've got the giant volcano in the background, and then you have this secondary peak here, which is here. Now, if we look around the area, there's so many different roads that you can take to kind of drive around and observe this strange anomaly that is seen on top of this peak, right? Now, let's zoom in a little bit into the distance so you can see this dish up on the mountain, right? Now, just use your imagination a little bit, okay? If there's clouds surrounding this peak, kind of keeping it a bit secret, shall we say, and just seeing this kind of silver-shaped observatory poking through the clouds, it would look very weird. And no matter where you place this is a telescope that can you know, swivel and change direction here. And if we kind of put the other telescopes above it, it looks kind of similar, and you can kind of see the front of the telescope kind of poking out here versus what you can see on the image here. So, I don't know, mate. What do you guys think? You let me know down below, but I think this one is an observatory.
The clip of that little orb in the clouds has been going viral on TikTok for sure. Luckily, this guy definitely debunked it. I do believe it's a satellite as well, but at first glance, it did look like an orb floating in the clouds, or at least it looked like it was sitting on the mountaintop.
This is horrific. A whale has just died after it collided with a boat's motor in New Jersey. Now, the incident caused one person to fall overboard and nearly capsized the entire vessel. But even though the person wasn't injured, unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the whale, because not long after, it washed ashore and succumbed to its injuries. But the big question that people are asking now is, why didn't they turn the motor off if they knew that a whale was near? Well, the answer is apparently they didn't. Reports say that this happened in a super shallow area of water, which whales don't commonly go through. So as of right now, it's just being treated as a freak accident.
Man, rest in peace to that whale. And the comments on this video are savage. There's one in here that says, "Is the motor okay?" And another one that says, "Called my mother-in-law. She's fine." There's some dark sense of humor in this one.
Octopuses are aliens, and I have proof. Some scientists believe that octopus eggs arrived frozen on a comet from outer space. Their eyeballs evolved completely than ours did, but somehow ended up nearly identical. Only difference is that theirs are better. That's the statistical equivalent of if two alien civilizations both invented the same iPhone in different galaxies without ever speaking or even knowing that the other alien civilization exists. They have over 33,000 DNA genes. That's more than humans or any other invertebrate on the planet. And their DNA doesn't look like anything else on Earth. It looks edited, like someone cut, copied, and pasted it together. They're able to suppress their immune system so they can regrow entire limbs. Not only can they shapeshift, but they can mimic other species. They can rewrite their own RNA, pretty much the code that tells cells how to function. And this allows them to adapt in real time. They're older than dinosaurs and trees. Some species only mate once, then the female kills the male and eats him. Then she dies of starvation protecting her eggs. Not a great system.
I think the octopus is a fascinating creature. It's just a shame that they live mostly around 5 years. That's typically the longest lifespan for most known octopus, with the majority of them having shorter lifespans than that, but they are extremely intelligent. If they could live a longer life, they would probably eventually end up ruling the world if we did not stop them.
These terrifying trail cam photos will make you poop your pants. So sorry. These first 3 photos were taken in sequence. This one was at 2, and then this one was also at 4:02 a.m., but you can see a little girl walking through the woods, and the deer notices her. Then at 4:03 a.m., the deer, I guess, got closer to her and then ran away. The OP said that these trail cams are out in the middle of nowhere, and there were no other photos of this little girl the rest of the night. This next photo was taken in the Appalachian Mountains. At first you don't see any game, but then when you look closely to the right of the photo, you can see what looks like a person in a white gown standing with their back turned. This was also the only photo that was taken on this trail cam with this figure in it. What do you guys think about these? Let me know. And what would you do if you caught this on camera? Don't forget to like and follow for more.
For the last photo, I'm not sure, but for those first 2 photos, that definitely looked like a child out there. If this was not a hoax, they might need to call someone to do an investigation because there might be a missing kid out there somewhere. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think that that was a real photo and not a hoax? And if so, do you think that that was a ghost? Let me know. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel.
Mermaids are all the talk right now. We have another phenomenal video coming out of Mexico. This time it comes from an individual who was walking along the beach at night when they started hearing these beautiful musical notes coming from the water. Now they said that they think maybe it's the song of the mermaid. We really don't know. It may be a pod of whales or some other marine life, but the question we should ask, if it is whales, do they really come in that close to the beach? And do you hear them that close? We know they have their own songs, but that's usually heard in the deep and underneath the water. This is clearly above. Take a look at it. Listen, tell me what you think.
To me, that sounds like a dolphin, and they definitely do get close to the shore, as we seen one got hit by a boat. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think that that's the sound of a whale or the song of a siren? I almost lost it on that one.
So did you guys hear what showed up on the coast of Hawaii the day after Russia got hit with that 8.8 earthquake? Now remember, y'all, the earth must be shifting, the earth must be moving, because how is this possible, right? They got hit with a tsunami the day after Russia got hit with that 8.8 earthquake, and this showed up. They talking about 26 of these petroglyphs showed up the next day. Here's that number 26 again, y'all, and this is what it looks like from an aerial view. You can tell this thing has been literally been engraved into the rock. So meaning at one point in time, was this at a higher elevation, y'all? Was this at a higher elevation?
Assuming all of you have seen the photos and videos of the petroglyphs that have recently become visible in Hawaii, but here's the crazy thing. They allegedly resemble the same type of petroglyphs that were photographed in the 90s on Mars and were released in leaked photos.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the second Moana, and the second Moana, it takes place in Hawaii, right? Now, the premise of second Moana is basically Moana is now introduced to her new extended family. And guess what tells her this? The water, y'all. Well, now the water displaced, and it's telling us something. Like we're about to meet our family. Because look at this, y'all. Isn't this?
We believe that it's our ancestors are telling us something about the Aina, because the land is our family.
There's 26 petroglyphs that we've seen, and most of them are anthropomorphic, human figures, partial, full. Some of them have their arms up, some are down, some of them are opposite, some of them have fingers.
So is the water telling us we're getting ready to meet our family? And did you guys see this in Newport Beach, California, y'all? What is going on, man? Are we being infiltrated? Y'all know that the water is the mother, and the mother is talking. So is she letting us know we're getting ready to meet the extended family? Please let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Y'all know we're in this shift, y'all. And let's continue to get it. Like, follow, share for more videos like this. Peace out.
So I looked this up, and apparently these were discovered in 2016. So this is old news. But this is the first time that they've re-emerged since. They've been submerged underwater for that amount of time. I mean, it's still really cool nonetheless, but this isn't new. So if you see anyone out there talking about it like this, just know this was actually something that was discovered in 2016.
Comedian Matt Rife, he bought the Annabelle doll. Yeah, the real Annabelle doll. The haunted, evil, possessed doll from those Conjuring movies. Yeah, he bought it, including the museum that it was housed in. And that museum that the paranormal investigators, the Warrens, owned, has a lot more haunted, evil, demonic stuff in it. And Matt Rife, he bought it all, baby. He bought it all. Now, I don't know about you, but me personally, I don't really want to add any evil, possessed dolls to my collection. And even though the Conjuring series are movies, it's based on this evil, possessed doll that the Warrens had locked in a cabinet, a glass cabinet, for decades before Matt Rife bought it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to take it out of the cabinet or play with the thing, but this could be dangerous, letting possessed items, because you know there's more than just the doll, in the hands of some guy, even though it's the Matt Rife, who might just want to play with him or experiment, or who knows. Yeah, this is freaking me out a little bit. Okay, Booshkies, I just wanted to share that with you. Shabadoo!
Wow, I looked this up and it's true. He definitely did buy the whole museum. I'm really curious as to why. I haven't gone into further detail on this, but we know if he ends up dying, it's probably because of all the cursed items. Also, I would be worried that someone would assassinate me and the blame would be that it's because of all the haunted possessions. Looking into this a little bit further, the reason why he bought this museum were primarily personal and related to the interest of the paranormal. Who knows what this guy's about to get into?
Alright, y'all talked me into venturing over there to retrieve that thing, if it is something to retrieve. So, here we go. I'm gonna hopscotch my way across these joists, and I guess if you're watching this, then I'll live to TikTok another day. One step at a time, boys. Bear with me. I might have to cut some of this or something. It's gonna take too long for some of y'all. Well, right here's why some of y'all thought that it just magically appeared, because I was crouched down back there. Then when I stood up, that's when it appeared, because it's on that back board right there. See? Look at that. Huh. I'll be dogged. All right. That is a box of some sort. Look at it. It's like it's a box. Okay. Can't get too good of a look at it. All right. I'm gonna grab that thing, then find my way out of here, and then I guess we'll just open it up and see if there's anything in there. All right, this is what I found in the attic. I haven't opened it yet. Last time I found something in my crawl space, y'all said I needed gloves, so here's some gloves. One thing I noticed right away about this thing is it says somebody wrote old money on it. I hope that's what's in there. There's something in there. But let's see here. Clark Thread Company for hand machine sewing. That's interesting. Huh. All right. I guess let's have a look. Okay. Those are like Scrabble letters? Well, they're not wood though. They're like Scrabble letters are wood, aren't they? Is there anything else? What's this? Anagrams or something. Oh man, this paper's brittle. Oh gosh, good lord, it just fell right apart. I guess if it's been sitting up in that attic for a long time. Is there more? Here, let me just dump this out. Letters. Okay. The new game of anagrams and word changing or word changing. Okay, so this is like a game. I mean, but this isn't enough pieces to make a game. You think maybe these spell something? Maybe they spell something. I don't know. I don't know. But that's interesting.
I really enjoy videos like these. Now, this was a lucky one because normally when I run across these, there's never a continuation. This video actually had one. It was just so happens to be uploaded 13 minutes ago. So that was really lucky. Unfortunately, it was a little underwhelming, but still really cool. I would love to discover something like that in my house. Let me know if you have an older house or a house in general. Have you explored it and seen anything or found anything old like that laying around? Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me, and with that being said, have a good day.